Yes, guys, so welcome to episode 2 of the still currently no name podcast. Um,
Yeah, I like that.
Today, we're going to get stuck in and get to know Patrick a little bit more, his background, where he's currently at with bodybuilding, just all the ins and outs. So let's just get stuck in. Patrick, what got you into bodybuilding? Where did the journey start?
Right. So I'm Patrick. My journey into bodybuilding is quite interesting. I mean, from my perspective, anyway. I basically got involved in it because my flatmate was planning on competing. We actually started training together. That's how we met. I met in the gym, like I think we met in like 2017, 2018, yeah. And like he just walked past me randomly. And I was like, mate, he had the most insane chest I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, bro, how's your chest so big? Like you need, and that's literally how our friendship started. And
Mm.
then we just got talking. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to train with you now because I want to have develop my chest like that. And then we started training. Did a lot of like Larry Wheels program, his strength program. So kind of powerlifting, power building, I guess you want to call it. Did that for a few years. Did that for about two years. And then 2021, he decided to go to prep for his first show in men's physique. And out of curiosity, I said, I'm gonna kind of like follow your diet, not like strictly, but follow his diet to diet down, um, and then see how I handle it, and hopefully also be like kind of like help him get through his prep, basically. Dieted down for like 12 weeks, I believe. And then I went to watch him compete. Saw him on stage, and I thought, mate, this looks insane. This looks like so much fun. I want to get involved. I think I'm gonna try and do a show myself. Then end up getting a coach, which was Toby Riker. Um, End up prepping for a show, 12 weeks prepped into a show, and then did my first show at PCA London, in men's physique.
What year is this?
This was 2021.
So it's not that
Yeah.
long ago, really.
No, I'm actually, do you know what? I was actually speaking to someone, I don't know if you guys remember him, the guy that won the Yachting Cup in Classic Physique this year,
What,
just
this
gone.
year?
Yeah, and I
What, in
believe he
the
won
UK?
last year, so
Is
he
that the
did. So
Canadian guy?
is he I'm not sure if, I think he might be Canadian.
Is that in
He did
America?
America, yeah,
The
Classic. I think
crazy guy.
yeah, crazy,
Unbelievable.
insane. Black, he originally from Jamaica, I believe.
Mm.
And his physique, he's got the most insane physique
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
One
And
of
I
the
was
most
speaking to him.
impressive classic guys ever.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I was speaking to him and he mentioned that, yeah, he did a post and he said, oh, it said that 10 years ago or like 15 years ago. And I was like, wait, what?
Mm.
You've been competing for that long. I thought you just popped up to the scene out of nowhere. And he
No.
goes, no, I've been in the game for so long, for quite a while now, and made me realize how new I am to this whole bodybuilding world because like, yeah, like
Yeah.
at least like 5 years in it now.
Yeah.
Um, and I still got a long way to go from
Mm.
my, from where I want to be anyway. So yeah, did that show. Uh, I placed second, and I remember us just staying back with the feedback. We was on stage, and they were like, "Oh yeah, top two to separate by 1 point, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is interesting." Like, I did at that point, I didn't even know there was like natural show or like I just thought just bodybuilding. No one just shows up to compete. So yeah, 10 at PCA natural. No, it wasn't natural. It was PCA London first timers. Did that, play second, and then I waited for my feedback, and their feedback was, "Yeah, you lost by 1 point because of your posing." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, that's something I could, if that's the case, that's something I can fix on." So I had another show planned in 2 weeks' time, which was UKDFBA. No, sorry, it was UKUP. Yes, UKUP, British. So I thought I'm gonna use the next 2 weeks to kind of fix whatever I need to fix and just get better so that I can obviously improve for the next show. Luckily, the guy that beat me in the first show was also doing that show. So for me, it was like an opportunity to see if I can actually reclaim the title. Yeah, end up turn up to the show. The results was the other way around, and then ended up actually getting the overall for that show, which was fucking brilliant for me. I was like, "Oh, what?" I just remember like jumping off the stage like a little kid, like thinking, "This is mad. This is a crazy feeling." So yeah, I did two shows that year, uh, and then the following year, 2022, go back to the competition scene again, and that's when I discovered there was like there's there was there was a separation. There was like natural shows and there's like artistic shows. I was like, wait. I think even in 2022, I did majority of like untested shows because again I didn't know until I did
Mm.
UK U, UK UP no UK DFBA sevens, and that's when I discovered like oh there's that federation, there's like BNBF, there is WNBF, there's all these other federations. I was like, oh okay, interesting. So yeah, I did that year. I did 6 shows my second year. Um, fast forward 2023, double the show amounts, did like 11 shows in 2023. When I
A
think
few shorter this
2020,
year or last year.
yeah, literally just like every year since I've been doubling the numbers. I met Donald in 2023 at WNBF Supernaturals. We was in the same class, which is pretty cool. Um, and I think I met Chris in person like the start of that year at the
Mm.
um what's that
Braywick.
Yuri? Yes, yeah, I must have worked. So you was doing like
But
a
that, I think that was towards the end of the year, but that must have been, I think that was 2023 at the end of the year.
right by the end of the
October
year,
time,
yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, maybe I think so. I think it was either that year or the year before, but I
Or it might
just
have been
remember,
2022, actually.
yeah, I think it was the end of like this,
Yeah, because
either
I
the
think
start of
Roger competed
2023
in
or
2023. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
2023,
yeah,
2022. Mate,
yeah.
that's
So
mad.
we did that. We both, yeah, we both turned up. Like I had
Yeah.
no idea we was gonna meet or we are gonna be in this position this like we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were sitting in the line right next to each other, posing up for for ears to get his opinion, getting feedback. That was quite interesting. Came across that picture like a couple of weeks ago, which I sent over to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
and then
sorry, the muscle works.
yes, yeah, the
Mate,
Muscleworks event,
that's funny how we were still doing next to each other. You know, the worst thing
literally,
about that is this is so
right?
random, but the night before that, I went on, this is the most unbodybuilding thing ever, but I went on this spontaneous night out and I got absolutely like wankered. And
Did
I
you?
remember, yeah, and I had like a fucking kebab and then went straight to bed. And the
Oh
next day
my
we're
God,
going up to like meet hers or whatever.
yeah.
And like my stomach was fucked. Like, so, and hers is telling people to go up and pose. And I'm like, nah, fuck this, because like I can't even control my midsection. And then everyone's like, just fucking do it anyway. And I'm like, ah, fuck it, I go up there. And I'm like
Yeah,
trying to hit these poses and I like can't even hit a vacuum. And it's just like, mate, what the fuck was I doing?
nah, it was the funniest thing ever. Like, literally, I watched the video back the other day. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like,
That's funny,
literally,
isn't it? Small
it was
world.
such a good, like, good little, yeah, experience. That was not my first ever, like, my first proper, like, uh, what do you not call them? What do you call them? Like seminars?
Meet
Like
and
my first
greet
proper
kind of
seminar,
thing.
meet and
Yeah.
greet, yeah. So it was pretty cool to like be there and like kind of hear his. I think it's like just hearing him speak and seeing him in person made me even more hungry to kind of like improve to
Oz
get.
is a great guy, man.
Yeah,
Really good.
yeah. He has so much passion for it, so that was nice to see. Um, so yeah, did a few shows in 2023. Uh, then took obviously 2024 out, came back in 2025, and again did a few shows. Managed to secure some pro cards, uh, and then end up the Worlds, uh, got world title as well, which is freaking awesome. I think still like what still one of the best experiences ever. Um, so that was pretty cool to experience again with with Donald. So yeah, both our worlds, we literally finished the show on a Sunday and literally went straight to went straight to Chick-fil-A. Just got did we go Chick-fil-A? No, we didn't go Chick-fil-A, did we?
No, we
We went
went
to
in out burger.
In-N-Out Burgers, yes. In-N-Out Burgers, like we got video of us like last, literally just
I'm
enjoying some good
jealous I
food.
didn't make it.
Yeah,
Are
we
you
have to
two
get you a
both
picture.
going again next year?
I'm planning to
I'll be
next year.
competing in 2027.
Yeah,
Again, just gonna. So I think because we'll be competing as pros now, won't we? I think we just
yeah,
have to enter a pro show, and then technically you can kind of go to Worlds.
Mm.
So it'll just be on the logistics of where it is because there's no
yeah.
guarantee it's going to be in the US again.
Oh
Like
yeah.
obviously they're doing Canada this year. Whether they're going to go and do it all, I don't know whether they'll do like alternate years, so 1 year in the US, 1 year somewhere else, or whether it'll be then Canada and then somewhere else and somewhere else. So
Yeah,
I won't be making a decision on that until like basically I'm
we
planning out
know.
like my 2027 season, which will probably be towards the back end of this year.
Yeah.
With the pro show, that's not even in one in the UK, is there? Like for WNBF.
Supernaturals.
That is a
Yeah.
Open
pro show,
amateurs.
technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have the amateur.
Oh,
How
yeah,
they did
in the
it this
evening,
year,
isn't
they
it?
got the amateur show on
Of
the
course, sorry.
Saturday,
Yeah.
and
I remember,
then the
yeah.
pro show on the
So
Sunday.
technically, you'd have to do that, and then you can go to Worlds anyway.
Yeah, or you can go and do. So they've got a pro show in France, Germany.
Yeah.
I
I don't think we
think
have
there's
to
a
do a
pro show in
UK show, do
Switzerland.
we? We don't have to
You
do a
just
No,
pro
it
have to
show in
doesn't
do
the
have
a
to
UK
be
one.
the
No.
pro
UK
show.
one.
Yeah, you can just go
It's
straight to
just
what in the
a WNBF pro show.
Pro
So
show.
I'm guessing Singapore's pro as well.
They haven't got any pro lineups. I think they might be doing this year.
I
But
know
as far as
the
I'm aware,
UAE one has got a pro
yeah,
show.
pro show, yeah, yeah.
That'd be fucking
And
Because
cool, man.
they've just said that there's going to be they're upping the prize money for their pro show to $10,000 as well.
That's where the money's at, yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be the
Which is
big
pretty
one to
fucking
win.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
definitely gonna be the big show to kind of win.
I definitely want to go and do the UAE show as a
Mate,
Yeah,
Dubai's
minimum.
such a good place to go as well. Like, if you went out there on prep, it'd be easy to like get gyms, get food, and then the
Yeah,
lifestyle you could live for like however long you stay out there, like for a few more days would be epic.
yeah.
yeah,
That
that's
would be
gonna be
like a
good.
go-to for me, 100%. If I was in your
Well,
My
boat,
plan for 2027 is to do well, basically to be able to get the wife on board. She loves to travel,
that'd be good.
so
Keep
I'll
her
basically
happy.
plan my shows and then have like a couple of days like after
yeah,
where because you can kind of after a show, well, as long as you've not got another show like the next weekend, but the pro shows seem to be a little bit more spaced out, so you can get away with like having a day or so where you might have a couple of cheat meals and then you're
Yeah,
straight back on plan because it also I find like when you're peaking, when you're that lean, having your peak almost works as like a refeed
yeah,
because and then you're essentially because you're properly refed like you're full all
hmm
the way up, it means that then for that week or two after you can really dig in for that fat loss because
yeah,
yeah,
you're full as a house because you needed to
yeah,
be
yeah,
full to
yeah,
be on stage,
yeah,
and
yeah,
to be honest you've got to flatten back out if you're wanting to dig for any more condition,
yeah,
so just mentally it gives you that little bit of a break. And
yeah,
I found actually competing multiple times in 2025 I found it really beneficial because
yeah,
in my first show I honestly with the MPA I wasn't ready but I didn't
yeah,
really peak, but
yeah,
having some like back-to-back shows where you peaked and then pulled back, peaked then pulled back, but then
yeah.
almost having a bit of a gap between the
100%.
MBW and the
I get that.
Worlds just meant I
Yeah.
could really, really dial it in.
I think you get that second win, don't you? Like, I remember after my first show, like, I was cooked, man. Like, I felt like I was done. And then you did that show, and I got the fucking buzz again. In the next 2 weeks, I fucking nailed it, and like
yeah.
bought a whole new package. Do you know what I mean? Like, it gives you like
Yeah.
that extra push. I completely get that for
It
sure.
definitely helps. Yeah, it definitely. I find it definitely gives you a bit more like refreshment, kind of like a bit more energy. It's kind of like feel for the gas a bit more. So I mean, like you guys know, I've done quite a few shows back to back and stuff like that, and like knowing that having that little gap in between always helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
get things back on
You get a
track.
taste for it, right? And you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
this is what I'm doing it for. And
yeah,
if I put the work in, I can be better again in a couple of weeks or whatever.
yeah, exactly that, exactly that.
I
So
can't
yeah,
imagine dieting for like, because obviously we now know what it takes to get in show condition. It's not a 12-week process.
No.
I think I spent like 8, 9 months of last year dieting. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
imagine dieting for that long to be on stage for
So
like
for
five
like,
minutes.
yeah,
Like,
exactly that. And
yeah,
I mean, like, a lot of everyone else, why do you do so much shows? I'm just like, well, I've died to get in condition for this
yeah.
long, so why would I do just one or two shows, man? Like,
Mate, that is, I 100% agree.
run with
Like,
it, enjoy it.
I know people
You know
that
what I
prep
mean?
and only do one show or something. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
what the
peak.
fuck's the point?
That is so
I'm
peak.
just gonna go grab my laptop charger.
Yeah, no
I'll be
worries.
back
Yeah,
in
sure.
2 minutes, or else my battery's gonna die.
Yeah, like I can't believe people will do like like this days. It depends on your start point, of course, but most
hmm
people are doing 18 probably plus weeks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what's the fucking
N-
point in doing 18 weeks just for one show, man?
Sure, and sure, yeah. And that is,
Fuck
I mean,
that.
natural guys always prep for even longer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they've been prep for like 30 plus weeks, actually, and then they're
Yeah,
going to
I
do one
mean, I
show.
did
Like,
I
nah,
did 20 last time, and I think next
yeah,
time I'd probably do like 22, and I want to
yeah,
start in a better position.
right.
So
So you're probably going to do like a pre-prep diet as well before you go into actual prep. So yeah, no, if you're in condition, run with it, mate. Do as many shows you can, and then
100%.
yeah,
As long as you're not hating the process, like if you're absolutely
yes, yeah,
hating it
yeah,
and you feel like your physique's getting worse, then it's
yeah.
fine. But
Then yeah, you know where
Yeah, I
to draw the
think
line. Then
like I think some people as well. Like I know for me, physiologically, I cope quite well being at a low body fat. Like I think growing up, I always had a low set point for body fat. So like my
yeah,
body doesn't get stressed when it's down there. Like it's
yeah,
hard getting down there. But once I'm there, I can sit there and it seems pretty happy as long as there's enough food in
yeah.
and I'm not
I'm
putting
not
too
like
much
that.
external stress.
it's
But
like
I
yeah, I'm
I
know
not
other
like
guys that
I was always a fat kid. You know, I was always fat. Like genuinely. So like I feel much better when I am just a bit fatter. Like I say fat, obviously I'm not fat, but like when I hold more body fat is when I feel great, I sleep great, my training is efficient. You know, and when I am like very lean, I notice the effects big time. Like sleep, no matter what you do, you know, the sleep's really hard. And just everything, even like hormonally, mate. Like fucking hell, like I'm not the same person. Like
no.
so, yeah, there's definitely.
Do you guys find that when you're really lean as well, you start getting night sweats?
um
I get that all year
sometimes.
round. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like I
When I'm really lean and my test's low, I start like you know how guys that will say about like trend
and
sweats, like you
such,
wake up and you're like drenched, like I have
yeah.
literally having to sleep on a towel and stuff. Like
Mm,
that's I wake up like that.
mm.
Oh,
I
that's
never
mad.
quite got that bad. I never get that bad, but I'm like a bit of a radiator. Like even like now, like I'm always that guy who's like hot when everyone's cold, and it's like horrible. Like I'm sweating when other people aren't. So I think that just carries over.
Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah, yeah. Sleep's not fun on prep, man. But how do you guys get on with your sleep during prep? Like, do you guys struggle,
I
or have you
take
found you
melatonin.
right?
It knocks me out.
Knocks you out, but does it keep you asleep?
Once it's for me, it's the actual getting to sleep when I'm on
Really,
prep. Like once
really.
I'm asleep, I tend to be all
You're
right.
fine.
Like I'm quite a heavy sleeper anyway.
Mm,
But it's the initial getting to sleep. Like I've got quite a busy mind anyway,
mm,
so I'll take my melatonin about half an hour before I want to go to sleep, and then it's just I often fall asleep like listening. I have
mm.
to listen to a voice,
Let your
so
mind
I
off
have
something.
to like listen to a podcast or at the moment this is my geeky side coming out, so I'll listen to like Warhammer 40k like fan made stuff. Normally I'd hear the first 10 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah.
But it's just something to do. Like I've tried like white noise, I've tried like binaural beats and all that stuff. That doesn't tend to help. It physically has to be somebody like talking to me, and that
Yeah.
seems to shut off that part of my brain that doesn't
Mm.
seem to be able to shut off.
Yeah, because you have to concentrate, right? And one thought
Yeah.
will take another thought away. Yeah.
I'm gonna record a voice note singing white girl music for you, bro, so you can fall asleep.
I think falling asleep for me was fine. Like I was just fucked, so I fell asleep. But I just, as soon as I woke up, like I was just up and ready. Like no matter what time it was, it could be like 1 o'clock, and I'm ready to get up. Like the body's like
Body's
go
just
eat.
go get some food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's mad.
it was awful, man. Like that's the biggest fit factor that I want to and will and need to control next time is sleep. Like I look at some of the stuff I was doing, it was like rookie mistakes with some stuff. Like I was napping a lot in the evening, and I know
Right.
like that's just gonna fuck your normal, you know, circadian rhythm and your 24-hour body clock, which is gonna just throw that out of whack. And then I've got mixed feelings on it, but I was using your him wine from the beginning. And I think now next time I'll just use it as a tool at the end if I need to, just because of how heavy it is and the stimulant. And again, if you're, you know, doing that right in the morning, that is actually going to affect things when you go to bed because it's affecting that 24-hour body clock again. Loads of little things, and even melatonin. I got to the point where I was just taking too much of that as well, and I think everything was just a bit of a mess. So that's going to be a big focus for me next time, just keeping that all very, very clean.
Yeah, I
I didn't have
think. Sorry, carry on, Pat.
I was gonna say like for me, I think sleep was only an issue with my work schedule because like if I'm working, I've got to be up at 4 o'clock for work. So those were the days that it would affect me.
Mate,
But
I'd be
if I was,
waking up then. That'd be sound. If
yeah,
I slept
no,
past 4 o'clock on like the last 5 6 weeks, that would have been like amazing. But I just
that's
couldn't.
mad. Yeah, like if mate, that's it. If I've got work, then yeah, I'll wake up. I get like about I'm lucky 4 hours of sleep, and then I guess I'll go to work and crack on with the day. But if I was off, I try to make sure I made up for it. Like I'll stay in bed, and like even if I wake up, I will not get out of bed or touch my phone until like I go back to sleep. Do you know what I mean?
Mm, mm.
So yeah, I kind of basically had to force myself to sleep if I needed to, but it's never really been a big issue. It's just obviously a couple of nights where you'll get it, but it was never really like a major issue.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
probably something you get like with every prep as well. Like you see these little gaps and you just refine it, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It's constant refinement, just like everything. So cool.
yeah,
So Patrick,
yeah.
tell us. Obviously, you've told us about this season, this year. Tell us a little bit about the posing. Obviously, you're known for your posing.
Yes, yes, yes.
What is that all about? Where did it come from?
Um,
What's next with it?
so with the whole posing thing, I think it just came from I think just from the first show of like getting that feedback of where they was like, oh, you lost because you're posing, and it became like all right, I'm gonna make sure there's no weakness for me ever again now. So
Mm,
I remember like between that I think it was either 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the next show, I was digging. I'll be on the Stairmaster like doing my stairs, and I'll be watching like YouTube tutorials, doing like all of this, watching and everything I can find from Rob Diesel, like all the big names, like literally just watching, learning. Like even my first, I didn't even do like bodybuilding or classic. I just did men's physique, and I did like an open, like I think they called it muscle model. I don't know if that's what, yeah, that's what they had at UKUP. So I did that, and I did like men's physique. So I wasn't even like but doing any bodybuilding class. I didn't do any bodybuilding class until my second season, and that was only in classic. And then my first season, I kind of started to double my feet into like bodybuilding division to see where I fit, um, if what I was suiting for me or not. But obviously I did that, got improved from that, and I just kept on looking into it, started posing a lot more, getting a bit more comfortable with it. And then I had people from the gym be like, hey, you're actually decent. You're actually not too bad. And I was like, okay, cool. So I just kind of just run with it really, kind of just build up for itself, just with every show, getting feedback and how I can improve, watching myself back and then seeing if I can improve. I mean, I came from a background of like cheerleading and gymnastics. So I had like, I always had a performance element in my background where I was in like, you expect to perform when you're a chair. So
yeah.
that side was already there. I just needed to convert that into bodybuilding. Um, so like it was pretty much like an easy transfer. Like almost like when you get moved from one thing, you just bring your skills over to the next the
Mm.
next platform and just kind of use it. Um, and then yeah,
So
last
do you think the cheerleading slash like gymnastics background helped more in terms of the identification, so like identifying the beats and kind of the music, or was it more knowing your body moving through space and proprioception? Because obviously both of those are important, but do you think it was which side do you think was more beneficial?
I think it's more so understanding uh the musicality of movement and basically kind of learning to read music. So obviously we do everything like when we choreograph for cheerleading and stuff like that is pretty much like the music is very kind of like uh it's like almost like arrogance with the music, like with the terms of like the lyrics they use. So you have to kind of like mimic like also you have to kind of make choreography to suit the music. So I think that helped me really learn to read music and kind of how to kind of make sure lyrically every move I did in bodybuilding was telling the story of the song that I'm using, for example. Um, that definitely helped. And I think another thing that I only realized recently, it was just I remember I was watching one of I work watching one of Michael Jackson's videos, and I loved Michael Jackson growing up. Watched pretty much almost every single one of his music videos, and I remember just like it'll be on the TV, and I'll be in the background dancing, pretending I wanted to be like a backup dancer for Michael Jackson for like forever. It was just the coolest thing to do. It just looks so cool. And I remember his song, Remember the Time. Do you remember the
Yeah.
time? Yeah, that song. It came on at
I think
work, and I
is
was
that the
listening.
one with the music video where they're in ancient Egypt?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like the whole sand and like the whole snake. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember watching that at work, and I was thinking, I should remember every single dance move in this video. Like that's that. Why do I remember that? I thought about it, and I was like, I literally watched everything, and then I start watching more of these videos, and I realized how technically perfect with every single move he did, and it all makes sense to me. I was like, maybe that's where I picked up those habits from, of trying to make sure that when I do choreography, I kind of like I'm actually telling the story of what I'm trying to showcase. So yeah, I think that definitely had a big influence um in my upbringing in terms of how I perform and how I go on stage and do my storytelling through um bodybuilding posing. Yeah,
So
I think 100% when I saw you perform in LA, you
yeah,
can tell that you really, it's not just something that you've put together and
mm,
performed, it's
mm,
that you actually feel it. There's a lot of
yeah,
like it's that right balance. You see some people put like too much emotion into it, and it's
yeah,
almost, it's, I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it. If there's like too much emotion into it, it looks like it's almost like
cringy.
too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
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 and
yeah,
then when you've just got that right balance between the flow of the movements, but you can tell that there's almost like a story behind this,
yeah,
and it's that right balance, and it genuinely moves people. I remember after the show how many people were going up like and coming up to you and going, mate, that performance just was amazing, and just how it connected with people in the audience that may have never been exposed to that before.
yeah, yeah. I definitely get. Thank you for that. But I definitely remember like people coming up to me. But I remember when I put that routine together, and I was a trainer creator for a gym at the time, and I remember literally had one of my pals training with me, Liam, and he watched it, and I was like, I want like before he came into watch us, I want you to watch this. Just be honest with me. Tell me if you can tell the story I'm telling. Like, so a lot of effort went into it because I knew it was going to be my last routine for the year, and I wanted to have something that is going to be memorable, and not just memorable. I wanted something that the crowd was going to feel. So coming off the stage and again, that hearing what people were saying about how they felt about the routine, even people that just watched online messaging me saying how they felt they could feel the routine was like, yeah, for me, I was like, yeah, job done. I found the secret, I found the trick now, I found the right balance of like how to kind of get exactly what I wanted to do with the routine. So it was very heartwarming to see and like the response from that routine that when he got out, so I was very cool.
so obviously you do the like the posing coaching, right? Um,
Yes, yeah.
where 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 do you envision that going, and like
Right.
what's your
So with
goal with
that,
it?
so right now, I'm running this store. I've always run. I started running it since 2024. I did a lot more client work because I didn't compete that year. I had one of my clients, Jordan, who competed
Yeah.
at
Is it
PCA, one of the PCA shows. Yes, Jordan. Yeah, his
yeah.
routine was. I mean, that year for me, I personally, I'm not being biased, but I feel like that routine should have won
What
routine of the
PCA
year.
show was that?
He did. So he did UKDABA first, and his routine went viral from that. And then
He
he
won
did.
that, didn't he?
Yes, he won that one. And then
What,
he
and he
did
did
like
the
an open.
PCA Naturals?
No, no, he didn't do the PC Nationals. He
No,
did
I was
the
going to say.
PCA. No, no, it was just a
Right.
PCA open show.
How
One of
come
the
he
open
didn't do
shows
the
back.
PCA Naturals? Because that was like
Um,
2 weeks later.
so yeah, because he originally only planned to do UKDABA, and that so the time during the PC Nationals he was on holiday. He had booked to go away on holiday, so he
He
wasn't
would have
around
been
for
in the
that.
tour anyway, so because he would have
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
he would
But
have
I
told
really
me, and
wanted
I
him to
wouldn't have
do
been
it.
this far. I'm right.
I was like, please do it. And I was trying to convince him
You
to
know
do it, but
what?
he had already.
That would have been interesting because obviously he would have gone against the guy who won the overall then, and
Overall,
I
yeah,
personally think Jordan would have 100% beat him.
yeah.
So that could
I
have been a
think
whole different show, but
I
you know
think
you
he
don't know.
has so much tissue on him. Like if he had 10 of the
It's
piece
in
naturals
shape.
with like good
Yeah,
condition,
yeah.
yeah, he would have therefore being able to be a good contender for
When's
that.
he going again? Is he going again next year
This
or
year,
this
I
year?
believe. Yeah,
This year,
yeah, this
that's
year.
good. Thank God for
Yeah, he's
that.
doing he's doing later on this year. I think he's gonna do like because he's under the same coach as me now.
Mm,
So he's got quite a few shows lined up for later
that's
on in the
good,
year.
man. I'm looking forward to
Yeah, so
seeing
it'd be
him. There's
nice.
going to be
Yeah,
there's some good natural competitors going
yeah. I
this
think
year.
this is gonna be entertaining to watch, man. It's gonna be very entertaining to watch.
Just gets more entertaining and better, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But I remember saying
there's
to
a
him like, I
few
do
good
not.
ones I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I said to him like, I'm glad you're going this year because I don't want to go against you ever. Don't ever step on the stage if I'm on me.
No,
But yeah, but he's gonna be interesting to see how he turns out this year. But yeah, with the whole posing thing, I run a company called the Posing Society, which I work with like I personally work with like all men's physique, classic physique, bodybuilding, and recently started doing like figure and wellness as well. Um,
okay.
Only because I find that women classes very, very interesting. I learned there's a
Mm,
lot of like, especially figure posing, a lot of stuff I've learned from that, which I
mm,
can incorporate into my own routines and stuff like that. Um, I was originally running that by myself, but it was getting a bit too much. It was just I just couldn't do that, do bodybuilding, work full-time job, and then have clients as well and all that stuff. It was getting too much. So I met a few people while traveling, and now we've kind of made up like a community where we are kind of helping change, well, bring more art into posing across the world. I've got a fellow from Australia. I've got Sean on board as well now, who's in New Zealand. I've got
that's wicked.
two coaches from the UK who are working with me now. A female coach, Jenny, who's been competing this year as well. Who I'm telling you right now, she's gonna smoke the wellness division. She's insane. Like
Okay.
I met her at my first ever show, and I remember I was watching her on stage, and she walked on, and you know when you just can't stop looking at someone because they have that presence on stage. She's just
Mm,
like she just rocks such a glow, and she's an incredible poser. So she's going to be the main female coach for Posing Society. I've got two clients, two guys from Canada working with Christian, and I've got Matt as well from Canada who are also like on board. Um, so we are actually working like setting up, releasing lots of like tutorials on how to do certain poses and kind of like build a hobby. We want to basically build a community where we kind of help bring art back into bodybuilding, the art of posing back into bodybuilding, which is very nice to
so
have like
sorry to
done.
interrupt.
Right.
How would it work? Is it something that people sign up for like a
So
membership
we have
for? Do people pay for one-to-one sessions?
we right now the plan is to just have like an open community just to help people out. And obviously, if someone wants direct work, they can connect with any of us who's closest to them or anyone they feel like they work with. They can just put
It might
like
be
book.
worth looking into. Have you looked at the platform School?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So you can have a free community on School, but
Mm,
then
right,
when you are doing things like upload like the posing tutorials and things like that, you can host them in School
yeah.
so
right,
that then people have got it. It's like a course. Like I was in the John Lofthouse one when I was trying to work on my posing over this prep, and that's kind of like how
yeah,
he's done it. And then there's a space in there where people can then click to book straight into your calendar to then, if they want
yeah,
to work with you one to one, you can set that up for the different coaches and stuff. So
yeah,
it's quite a nice place that's like not social media. Well, it
Yeah.
right,
technically is social media, but
Yeah.
it's like it's what like Facebook groups used to be before all
Mm.
like
yeah,
the noise that happened.
yeah,
You
But
could also
you are in a lot more control of it.
Yeah,
right.
you could also
That's
put like a small membership fee on it as well, like depending on what route
Yeah.
you wanted to go down. But say for example, it could be like 9.99 a month or whatever, and they get all this information and they can enroll on, um, the stages of learning this pose as a
yeah,
beginner and then intermediate and then advanced, and then it'll start off with the mandatories, for example, and then it'll go into transitions and then it'll go, do you know what I mean? And however long they're on the platform for, they just pay like a membership fee.
yeah. I think so. That's all you pretty much what we're trying to kind of aim towards there, where we have
That'd
like
be
our
wicked,
own
that'd be good.
platform where like people can access to and like I said, set up like a a system where they can book with someone if they need to. Basically, kind of like how you just described school. So we just basically work on all the logistics at the moment. And
So,
obviously having all of us having been on different parts of the world, so always having trying to find time to actually have our team catch up is like a nightmare at the moment because like
mm,
yeah, we're having to do it when people are like it's like 4 o'clock a.m. in somewhere else and then like 5 p.m. in over here. So yeah, but we're making it work. We will see. We're taking that. So we're not putting too much stress on ourselves because we all got our own lives and our own like main business that we're doing. So this is almost like our little baby that we're trying to build up and seeing where it develops. So that's the plans with that. And obviously I've managed to like secure the uh best routine of the year PCA right there.
oh yeah,
That is my baby right there. That's like that was pretty cool a moment that I had last year. So that's cool. That was awesome.
that's wicked, man. So, I know we're coming up to about 8 o'clock, so we'll maybe go through like one more bit and we'll
Yeah.
call it there. Obviously, you spoke a little bit about this season. What's next for Patrick? You know, over this year and next year, and where do you see things going, and where would you want things going?
Right now I think my the goal is set to like compare again in 2027. It's not set in stone. Basically, we just kind of like I would. That's what I would like to. I would definitely want to compare again in 2027. However, we are going to take how we're going to take how the season goes in terms of like growth, and if we feel like we've improved in the areas that we want to improve to make the difference that we need to make our worlds on the world stage, and yeah, that would definitely be the plan to compare our worlds next year, and hopefully try and secure that world title, which would be pretty awesome to do. Um, But whether not, obviously I'm pro in both bodybuilding and classic. I think I'm probably gonna stick with classic if I'm honest with you. Um, just because I feel like it's more, I enjoy that class more for me. Especially with the posing side of things and stuff. Don't get me wrong,
I
there's
was going to
posing
say,
in bodybuilding as well, but
how did you find the difference between the classic division with the WNBF compared to like the PCAA and the well, is it the NPC still? If you've not turned pro,
yeah,
NPC.
NPC, yeah,
Yeah.
NPC, yeah. So, the difference that I noticed was like you actually go worked a lot on stage at Worlds, especially at WNBF. I noticed that it was similar as when I did the Singapore Pro qualifier. Like, they made you work for your spot for the like every class you went on stage, you had to work for it. And I noticed that trend coming throughout a lot this year. But at Worlds was like was completely different. Like it was like okay, you worked out the qualifiers, but this is worlds, which is which for me I feel like that's what it should be.
Yeah,
It's the top end of the game. So if you're gonna be there, you have to be prepared to have the condition to pose on stage a lot. I noticed that that was one huge difference between that and NPC where you they do actually emphasize on this posing. One thing that really annoyed me about was though was we were advised to pose a certain way, and then when we was on stage, it wasn't what they want us. That's not what they told us to do. So that was kind of conflicting because for example, like the classic poses, we was told to like do the whole tilt into the side things like on your toe, and then we was on stage and the head judge for the classic division was like, no, feet down, face front on. So it was like almost like a bodybuilding posing in classic division, which so it was very. I think a lot of us that was in that lineup was pretty conflicted with like, wait, what?
mm,
That's not what we've been advised to do, and now we're here, and you're telling us to do that. So what do you guys want? Like, it was
yeah.
a bit unexpected twist, but apart from that, it was a pretty good experience. Pretty good
In
experience.
in my first ever show as well, I remember
Hmm.
reading the rules and they like they said you can hit vacuums, but then on the day they were like telling people not to hit vacuums
Yeah,
in the classic, and we was all looking at each other like what? So sometimes there is mistakes, isn't there?
yeah, yeah,
For me, it was like frustrating because it's like that's like a really good shot for me, and this is classic physique. I'm like,
yeah,
what do you mean don't hit the vacuum? And they specifically like said it a couple of times. People were still hitting it because they were like, surely like they're getting confused or something. And then they were literally like, don't hit vacuums, and we were all like, mad.
yeah. that literally happened at Worlds. Like we went
Really?
up some fights, and every single guy had hit the vacuum. They're like,
Oh,
no
what, they told
vacuums.
you not to?
Yeah, they told us
No
about no
way.
vacuums. Like while I was on stage, so everyone's like, oh, okay. And obviously everyone's so in the habit of like constantly hitting the vacuum and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
And
you,
also,
you
there's a
got,
language barrier as well at Worlds because not
yeah,
everybody English is their
English,
first
yeah,
Mm,
language. So
mm.
it's like they were trying to get people to move because at Worlds, some of the lineups were like 10, 11, 12, and they
yeah,
didn't split us into smaller groups.
Oh, really?
So, like, for the quarter turns, that's fine because
Yeah.
everybody's compacted. As soon as you go into
Mm.
like a double bicep,
yeah,
elbows start getting thrown around. The guy,
yeah.
we got the videos, and I'm watching the guy to my left. He's getting proper pissed off, like because our elbows are touching. I'm just happy to be there. I don't care if your elbows are behind mine, like. But he's like, yeah. There
Thing
was
is, you
some
do want
argy bargy going on that
a
stage.
fair show of your physique when you've done all that work. You don't want to be up hidden behind
Yeah,
someone, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But
So I
yeah, they
agree.
were very anal about every single pose. Like if you did it wrong, they will call you out. And it was like we you told us to do it this way, like but now you're telling us something different. So we was a bit really confused by that. So I think that's something they will definitely need to like clarify out going into
Yeah.
the future and kind of iron it out because it needs to be, especially on the world stage. You don't want to be people going to the world stage and then looking confused because that's
No, it's not professional, is it?
yeah, not
I
all
think as
about.
well. I think there were a lot of tweaks made to Classic
Yeah.
throughout the season because it's the
Because it's
first time they've
new,
run it,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
because I was hearing some feedback about the guy that won the pro class for the classic, he
yeah,
looked more like a bodybuilder than a classic
yeah,
guy. So, I think they need to get clearer so that across the board, because again, as soon as you're an international like federation, you've kind of got to have that clarity and that uniform I can't the
Yeah.
uniformness across
Informacy, yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you've got a guy, I understand like different regions. Like it's one of the reasons why WNBF now they're being a lot stricter on people going and competing overseas, getting
Mm.
their pro card. Like because I can't remember which guy did it. It was one of AJ's clients did it, and then AJ was on a podcast saying he'd
Julian.
spoken to Steph because he wanted to do that and she was like no, we don't do that anymore. Like you've got to compete at the Supernatural show to then be able to go and compete
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah,
But he wanted to end his season by July August time last year because he had all of his clients towards the back end of the year, so that's one of the reasons why he didn't end up going and trying to get a pro card last year.
Who was that?
right, okay. AJ.
AJ.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
think
it.
you're talking
Yeah,
about Julian, Jack Chan.
So yeah, Julian did that the year before.
Oh, okay.
So and Steph was actually judging at that show,
All right.
and apparently went and essentially had a word with him afterwards because basically you're meant to compete at a UK show, and then
so
once you've,
for
I
yeah,
think if you can, if you, it's something
there's
like you've only got to finish in the top five, so it's
Yeah.
not even a hard criteria to fill,
I
but
suppose
you're
it
meant to
depends
compete.
on your
and it
set
also has to be
locations
within
as
a
well,
time.
though.
It has also has to be to a time period. So I think like so because I remember when
It's
I asked
18
about it,
months, I think.
18 months. Yeah, I think I was just under the time period for mine to be able to do Singapore.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I suppose for some people it might be different. But I think Julian actually lives that way. So I suppose there's a little bit of
Yeah,
like fair
yeah,
enough if you're kind of there already. But yeah, rules are rules, I suppose.
yeah,
But no,
yeah. It's
interesting.
definitely interesting to see where things go. But I do. I'm glad you mentioned about that because that's one thing I noticed about. So I feel like the classic division, both the tall and the short class were more. Everyone in the class kind of looks similar to what we thought was classic, but the two
Mm.
winners were the two one that looked very different from everyone. So did they go for them because they look different from everyone, or were they more suited to bodybuilding? It was a bit, yeah, a bit
I,
confusing
I've
from a
I've
lot
got
of
a
people.
question. In
Hmm.
in the pros, was there tall and short classic?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was, yeah,
And then
and
was
then
there
they'll
an
go to
overall
H.
winner
Yeah,
of the pros?
yeah,
Okay. So I was trying to think because you had the guy who's really good, Petrov, is it?
Petrov, yeah,
He in the tall and you was in the short.
yeah. Petrov was in top class, and I think he placed fifth. Yeah, I think he placed fifth in
Who
the
won
12 club.
who won the overall out of the tall and short?
It
It
was
was
the
a
tall winner from Spain.
Cool.
Yeah, guy from
Right.
Spain. He looked phenomenal, but like again,
I
he
think I
looked
follow him.
more
I think I follow
bodybuilding.
him.
Yeah,
I think that division's just going to get more and more crazy as the years go
yeah,
on. Really,
100%.
so,
It's gonna be very
yeah.
exciting to see the future of it, man.
They've
Like,
got to fill it out, haven't they, over these next few
yeah,
years?
yeah.
So they're
Because
probably
I don't
opening
think
it
they've,
out.
I don't think even any of the pro shows that have come out listed this year has got like a pro classic division. Because I guess there's not enough
there's not enough
pros in it
price.
for them to have it. Yeah,
No.
so it's gonna take a couple of years for that to like turn to where it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, that's exciting. Well, I think we covered things pretty good.
Yeah.
Unless anyone's got anything else to add.
No, I
No,
should be on
pretty
time
good.
next week.
All good. I think we did pretty well there. All right, awesome. Well, thank you both of you two, and thank you for everyone who has listened to the whole podcast. We've done 2 episodes now, introducing everyone. So I suppose next time it's going to be me, and
Yes.
yeah, we'll see you on
Yeah,
that.
we get to interview you. Yeah, we get to interview you this time.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Let's do it. All right. Cheers, guys. I'll see you on the next
All
one.
right.
All right, see you later.
All right. Take care.